Hi, there are two students. Uh, as you can see, the Bones and Things assignment is posted. So I'm going to do a quick demonstration for y'all on how to do sight drawing. Now, I know a lot of you guys are unable to print, which is fine. You should be able to pull up. You should be able to pull up the imagery versus or via your Chromebooks or laptops or whatever, and just draw straight from the screen. So I'm going to show you guys how to break this down into basic shapes. I'm going to draw it kind of miniature because you guys are going to be drawing, pretty small as well. And I'll show you how to kind of figure out proportions and everything here. The next demonstration that'll be posted will be how to shade with ink. Um, Basically, the first thing I'm going to look at is I'm going to look at the major kind of lines of shapes. So like I see all these toe bones or I should say metatarsal bones are all kind of lined up here. These are the bones that make up the length of your foot. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make a loose gestural line to talk about the angle that these bones sit at. I'm mostly focusing on these four right now. And then I'm just going to kind of put a loose box to kind of talk about this arc down here, like this. And then it's going to come down to this angle here. And I'm going to put another loose box to start to think about where this big bone is here. And then some other marks kind of up here to describe where those are. Then coming through here, this is this grouping of metatarsals up here. I've got this shape up in here. I'm just following this outside contour, that there. I'm actually drawing kind of larger than I wanted to originally, but looks like you guys kind of need that for seeing it anyway. So I'm going to put darker lines around these boxes so you guys can see them a little bit more. Now I'm going to start thinking about the toe bones. Just kind of get those blocked in like lines. And this one comes a little bit further down and over. Like this. This one comes up and then starts to come over like this and stops short of this. So this would be the end of this toe, these set of toes, and then this set right here. Come up like that. And this one comes down and stops even shorter. I'm just looking at the toes as they kind of relate to one another. And then we got this little shrimpy guy over here. Alright, so now that I got that gestural kind of thing blocked in, and this is kind of like the wireframe drawing you guys did with the last thing. What I'm going to do at this point is start blocking in the shapes now. So this one kind of I'm just following the outside contour. It comes up like this, down through here, and then it's very, very skinny in through this region here. And then because I've already made this kind of loose line here, I know this is where I need to start. I need to kind of make the end of this shape here. I'm going to look at the major divisions. This. It's going to be thinner through here. And I'm just kind of adjusting it as I go. I'm keeping the lines pretty loose, so I don't want to commit to any detail. So it comes over and then comes down a little bit. I know this is going to be a little challenging for some of you guys who are used to using a grid, but it'll be a good exercise. And so I'm going to look at the shape that forms in here. There's this gap here, this in here. I'm not going to bother with any shading right now, just because I know I'm going to shade this with ink. So there's a little bit of negative space right in here. And then behind this, we can see the end of that bone there. So this comes down to here. This is up and over, just following the contours as I see them. And it's got, try to stay as authentic as you can to the shapes. And try not to generalize too much. Now, as you guys watch this video, understand that I will help you with your own, if you find your own bones and you're having trouble with a particular aspect. If you just post like in the help thread, I can definitely answer any questions there too. So there's a pretty good gap between these two here. So I'm having to deviate from my original marks a little bit because I can see that I was a little off when I made those initial marks. So this toe comes down further. And this one is going to be really shrimpy though, so I need to make sure to kind of block that in so I don't go past it. And these almost start looking like little hourglasses a little bit up here. So this comes in pretty close. If you do just one toe at a time, you'll have a harder time getting lost as far as where are these shapes. And look at the negative space between the shapes too, that'll help you. And then this last one's pretty large, but it's still short. Alright, so I'm going to start blocking in these bigger shapes here of the metatarsals, which are the bones of the foot, the ankle. As you can see, these are a little bit easier than the toes because they're only one shape. And I'm making little kind of like marks where I know I'm going to do my shading. Alright, so that's one little foot drawn. So the next demonstration will be a demonstration on how to do shading with ink.